marbles back in 2019 in June in Madison Square Garden remains a parting bout to the first Anthony Joshua and the Ruiz fight, and that was for all the marbles. Katie Taylor had the WBA, IBF and WBO belts, and Delfine Persoon the WBC belt, and it was probably one of the best female fights I've seen, and it was an absolute war, you know. Katie Taylor is a boxer, puncher. She can box and she can brawl. And when she was able to move and do the side steps, she made Persoon punch air and peppered her with more accurate shots. But for the most part, Persoon, she's a rough and tumble pressure fighter, very unorthodox, very rough. And she's just a brawler, and she kept coming at Katie Taylor and simply outworking and outpunching her. And in the end, Katie Taylor won a majority decision. There were a lot of people that thought Persoon deserved the decision. Now, I'm a big Katie Taylor fan. I think she's my favorite female fighter out there at the moment. And to be honest, I felt bad for Persoon. I won't call it a highway robbery, but it was a close fight. But I think Persoon just nicked it by a point or two, especially the way she finished that fight. She put on a real grandstand finish and went after Taylor and had a reeling there at the end. Now, if we look at Katie Taylor, she's the one with all the hype and the spotlight on her, because she's an icon in the native Ireland. She's won everything there is to be won as an amateur boxer, culminating in an Olympic gold medal in 2012. So she turned pro with a lot of fanfare, won her first world title, the WBA, a lightweight title against Anaïs Sanchez in the 7th bout, and then made 7 defenses of that racket, collecting all the other belts as well, then culminating into the Persoon fight. Now it is later in the day. They both had an interim fight, Persoon outpointing Ellen Joseph, and Katie Taylor jumping up to junior welterweight to win another world title, WBO title, there beating Cristina Linardatu. And now it's back to lightweight for all the marbles there. And I'm glad to see the fight is happening, because it merits a rematch. I'm sure Katie Taylor wants to remove all doubt that she's the best. And I think Delfine Persoon wants to get what she feels was taken from her by the judges in Madison Square Garden. Now, how is it going to pan out? I think it's going to be another terrific fight. You see, Katie Taylor, as I've said, she can box really well. She really goes to the body well, which you don't see in a lot of girls. It's something I like about Katie Taylor. She's got decent pop in her punches. She's 15-0. She hasn't been defeated yet. Persoon will have something to say about that. But Katie Taylor also likes to stand and fight. There were times there when Persoon was going for it and Taylor just waved her back in and got involved in a scrap. And I think that is her biggest Achilles heel in this fight. She's going to have to take a leaf out of somebody like Cecilia Brækhus and stick to a game plan and box this time around. Because when she is boxing and when she is moving, Persoon is very unorthodox. She comes in from all angles with her chin in the air, but she's tough. She takes it, you know, sometimes she throws her right hand and she almost pushes out. It looks almost like a Superman punch in MMA without her feet leaving the canvas. But these type of things, Taylor sidesteps well, but then a brawl ensures, and then Persoon works her over. So Taylor's going to have to use her jab. Persoon is a tall girl, she's 5'9", she's quite a bit taller than Katie Taylor. She's going to have to use her jab, keep moving side to side, and she's going to have to slow down this forward rush of Persoon somewhat. And how can you do that? A way that one can slow down this rush is to jab to the body and throw a few shots to the body before stepping to the side. And Persoon, the way she's built physically, she's got a long torso, there's space there to bang in a few hooks to the body. So Taylor needs to do what she did in the rounds that she won. The person or the girl who's going to win this fight is the one who's going to be able to do more of what worked for them the first time around. And that's what Katie Taylor's going to have to do. She's going to have to forget about the crowd, because there's not going to be any crowd because it's COVID-19. But she's going to have to fight a more disciplined fight and stick to boxing. She's a better athlete. She moves better. Her technique is far better. So she's got to go with that and stay out of a brawl and not get her Irish up, as they say. Now, Persoon, what can she do differently? At this stage of her career, she's had a much longer career. She's had to grind where she got. You know, she didn't have a media marketing behind her like Taylor. She won the IBF title, stopping Erin McGowan back in 2012, and didn't defend that ever. Struggled to get fights. 2014 won the WBC title from Erika Annabella Farias. Made 9 defenses before losing that to Taylor. So she's a more experienced girl, and she's got a really good engine. She throws punches in bunches. It's not pretty at all what she does. In the commentary, I think it was Sergio Mora that compared her to Ricardo Mayorga, who beat Vernon Forrest, who he wasn't supposed to beat. Mayorga was just such a wild brawler. Forrest didn't know what to do with him. And I think that's an apt comparison. That's the thing with Persoon. I don't really know what she can do differently. Sometimes she takes a while to get going. I think she can just start faster. I mean, she did start faster than usual in the last fight out. I think now she just got to be careful she doesn't give away round 1 and round 2. She's just got to go at Taylor the way she did last time and go at her harder. She's not going to win a boxing match. Who's going to win this time around? I'm leaning towards Katie Taylor. As much as I feel for Persoon not getting the decision the last time out, I think Katie Taylor is going to win a close fight, but it's going to be a legit win. She'll be a clear winner this time, simply because I think she can do a few things differently, and Persoon can't do much differently. She's going to have to fight the same way. She'll just have to do more of it, and the way she fought last time, it's hard to see how she can dig deeper and draw more out of her. So I'm gonna go with Katie Taylor to stick to the game plan, use a jab, use body shots, turn Persoon, and put more of her rounds in the bank than Persoon does. Persoon's going to have her moments where she's going to rough up Katie Taylor. But I just think Katie Taylor is the better talent, and I think she's going to prevail and win a close one over Delfine Persoon. So until we see each other again, enjoy your boxing from Eddie Hearn's backyard. Keep those gloves up.